These are the heifers that are back with the bull. So they're looking in very good nick. Hopefully all in calf. It's too early to say. Hopefully. They're fine and quiet, which is the main thing. Hey girls. Enjoying some heat for a change. So this batch is all of our heifers and a few cows with Charlotte calves thrown in just to make up a batch, make up the numbers. This is one of our Charlie bulls here, Maximus. So he'd probably be the oldest one now we've got. He's a fair brute. So these girls are put to a black limousine, and then Dad bought a few heifers with calves at the foot, so the darker red limousine calves are the bought-in ones. But we use a black limousine bull, and then, as I say, some of the Charlie calves that you see are just cows in this batch just to make up numbers. So, majority cemental cross cows. There is a few limousine crosses in here as well, but yeah, majority would be cemental cross. So heifers will stay as a batch until the bulls come out, sorry, and then they'll all go just run together with the cows. So these are sort of second half of February, March, April born calves. Try and calve the heifers a wee bit before the cows if we can, but it doesn't always work like that. So these calves are not on crete, they're just purely on their mother's milk and grass if it decides to grow. So hopefully these girls are all back in calf again. Shifting this batch of spring cows and calves because we're meant to be getting an absolute lashing of rain, so we need to move this batch so we can move the ones that are down beside the river up out the way just in case the field floods, because obviously we don't want a disaster. So then we can move the next lot up because they're autumn cows and they don't have a bull and we don't want them to have a bull. And as you can see, the bull's here. But he'll be coming out from these guys shortly. He's been in for his time. So this is just another batch of spring cows that we've got. So this is the field that's down by the river. And as you can see, the water table is so high, so there's just ponds created everywhere. You get all the shit of the day that comes down the river. Obviously, hundreds of dockings as well, because it's all washed down in the water. This whole field will go underwater. So yeah, it's pretty shit. Believe it or not, Dad actually used to grow barley down here. Some of the best ground. But you wouldn't dare chance it now. More shit that's been washed down with the river. So getting these girls up out the way, just in case this rain does come and the river does come out over. We're not needing any washed away. Thankfully it didn't get stuck. You literally just have to put the thumb down and go for it. And I mean, we got absolutely caked from head to toe, but well, we didn't get stuck. That's the main thing. So yeah, it's just because the water table is so high. We used to have a fence, obviously, that went along here, right around the edge of the river, but it literally lasts about a couple months and then the river's out over again. You can see how close it's running to the top. So it doesn't run far from the top at all now. The river actually, believe it or not, used to go behind this clump of trees. So it would like veer off that way. and going a straight line round that corner along there, but it's eroded round this way now, and of course the pressure, when the river comes down here, the pressure is then on our field there, so we're losing ground every year. I think we've lost about 4 acres in my lifetime, which is a lot when you think about it. And it's a shame to see because, you know, the field looks horrendous. I mean, there's rubbish everywhere. We get buckets, we get bags, we get plastic wrap, we get dead animals, you name it, we get it here. Tires. I mean, there was even actually a wetsuit, which was a bit scary. But we get all the shit of the day down here. And like I say, it used to be a really productive field that Dad could grow barley in, but you wouldn't dare chance putting anything. Like, we don't even fertilise it anymore. Nothing. There's just no point. I mean, literally it would get washed down the river. So it is a shame. It's wasted. Well, I say it's wasted, I mean, we still obviously, we've got those cows on it just now, just keeping the grass down really. But obviously when we're getting a weather warning like we are for tomorrow, we've then had to move a couple of batches of cows to get them out of there, to move them out just in case. Because, like, you can see how high it's running, so even just a wee shower of rain, this will be flooded. Gateway's blocked. So yeah, it's a shame that we can't utilise it. If the rivers were dredged, it would help greatly. It's what used to happen, but wouldn't even dare to get near it now. You have to apply for a licence to get into the river with a slough. That was however many years ago Dad asked about the licence. 10 grand then, just to get the bit of paper that allows you into the river. Never mind doing the work. It had to be specific types of diggers in case there was any oil leaks. I mean, it's just a carry on. If we were allowed to dredge our rivers, that would prevent flooding further down the river in towns. Think about it, it used to happen and there wasn't a problem back then. Anyway, what would we know? Back to tidying the fields. So we've just given this field a tidy up because the grass has gone all shot because it's gone from 0 to 100. So just giving it a tidy up, a few thistles as well in here, so yeah, just make the place look a little bit tidier. I mean, the sun is shining at the moment. We've had it for more than 10 minutes, but I'm scared to say any more. Tomorrow is giving a ridiculous amount of rain, shock. So yeah, let's enjoy the sun for however long it might stay out for. Well, they weren't wrong about the weather. Keying it down, and it is so cold again. Feels like October. It's soaking wet, it's freezing cold. I've got the heater on, but yeah, I'm talking. Because it's actually July. This is a carry on, honestly. Where is our summer? So although I am gathering in these sheep for weighing the lambs, here's another batch of cows for you all. So spring cows are still in their different lots. The plan being that we will batch them all up together in the next sort of couple weeks, because that's when the big switch around happens. These calves are just on their mother's milk and grass. We're not creeping. We don't creep these calves at all. As I've mentioned before, the only ones that get creeped are the sets of twins and the maybe slightly later calves. So they will all go in a batch together. All the spring cows will end up together. So I think we had them in, I think they were maybe in groups of 28, 29 this year. With the bull getting swapped every 2-3 weeks depending. So yeah, this is just some more of our Simmental Cross cows and Charlie calves. They're doing not too bad considering the weather's been pretty dire for them. So these calves will be for weaning in sort of November time. They'll then come inside to our new shed, the lambing shed, where they will stay until February. And then in February they will be sold at just sort of 10 to 12 months old. So a lot of these calves would be, what month are we? July, say March, April, May, June, July. So a lot of them are just 4 months old. And as I mentioned, the bulls were obviously back in with the cows, so hopefully these cows will be back in calf. We will be PDing these cows probably middle of August, sort of 4 to 6 weeks after the bulls have come out. So they'll be getting PD'd and checked who's going to be having a calf in 2025. But yeah, here's another field of our spring cows. So cows are nice and quiet. We like to make a point of getting the cows nice and settled, getting them used to us going around. When these cows calve inside in the shed, you know, we're obviously walking through the shed several times a day, walking amongst the cows, walking amongst the calves, just to get them used to us in case there is any issues and we need to go through them. But also it's a lot nicer having calmer cattle that you can comfortably walk through. I wouldn't say I trust them, you know, never trust a beast, doesn't matter how quiet they are, you know, blah blah blah, you just never know. Majority of our cows as well, I should say, are still from the Republic of Ireland. So we've been buying cows from there, well, heifers from there, sorry, for 40 odd years. I'm not sure, I need to check my dad, but I know my grandfather started it, and then my dad continued it up until this spring, just for a few different reasons. I've mentioned it in other videos, but all these cows will be from the Republic of Ireland. That means that we TB test annually. We set our TB test for January, because that then allows us to jab these girls with their Rotavirus coronavirus vaccine pre-calving. So it works in quite well for us. Obviously they get run through the crush, they get 2 patches shaved on their neck, 2 injections of 2 different types, and then, is it 3 days later? They're run through again, and the vet comes back and checks the lumps to see if there's any reactors. So because we are pretty much 100% Irish, we have to do this annually, whereas in Scotland we're TB free here, so they can do it, I think it's every 4 years they have to do it. Ooh, Jesus. Wrong thing. So you can see here that they graze with the sheep as well. So got about 300 cows out here grazing alongside all the autumn cows and calves. Cows are looking in good nick considering the way the weather's been, considering there's very little grass. In about a fortnight's time or so, these cows and calves will be coming off the hill to be weaned. So the calves will be staying inside for a few days just to settle, and then they'll be turned back out to grass on the lower lying fields that we silaged earlier on. The cows will go back out the hill to, not to this hill, to the other hill, where they will stay and they will calve out there. As I've mentioned, these cows will be coming in for weaning and then calving, so I promise you will be getting more cow content very soon. It's just the way it is, the time of year. It's very lamb, sheep focused. So these calves are not on any creep or anything at the moment. As you can see, they're just with their mothers and then on grass, the very little amount that we have. As we go into more autumn, you get cows calving with still a wee bit of lambs going away, etc., and getting the ewes ready for tupping and whatnot. Quite rough stuff as well. Like obviously this grass was planted in the 1980s, I think. So there's a lot of rough stuff, but they always seem to do really well off it. And you know, cows are trying to maintain body condition as well as grow the calf, as well as look after the calf that they've got at the moment. So it's it's quite challenging for them. Don't worry, there will be more cow stuff coming very soon. I will share as much as I can through the weaning, through calving, etc. And yeah, I'll just share what I'm doing every day. Producing nice big strong Charlie Cross calves. Hey Cappies! Well, that's it for this one. A little bit different, a wee cow update for you all, which I know some of you have been asking for, but they've literally been out in the fields getting soaked, surviving. As I say, we are moving more into, as we move more into autumn, there will be more cow stuff. Like obviously we're going to be weaning the calves very soon, and then we'll be going into calving, and then we'll soon be into the dreaded winter. Which is a thought, because I feel like we've hardly come out of it yet. So just a wee update on the cows, how the calves are looking, how the cows are doing. If you've got any questions, please pop them below if I've missed anything. It was a bit of a mash up, this one, but hopefully it's all right. If there's anything particular you want to see more of, or if you want me to explain, etc., feel free to pop it in the comments below, send me a message across my social media channels. I'll pop them down below here. But thank you as always for watching. I hope you've enjoyed a bit of variation in this one, and I hope to see you for the next one, which may or may not be back to sheep. Thanks as always. We'll catch you in the next one.